Hello, I'm Gregory Sisk. I'm one of the faculty who teach in the first year here at the University of St. Thomas School of Law. I am privileged to teach civil procedure to first semester students. That's the course about the court system and the rules that govern a civil lawsuit from beginning to end. Many first year students encounter civil procedure as the most forbidding of the first year courses, and I think that's primarily because it's so different and so alien. When you come to law school, you're going to take contracts. Most of you already have some sense as to what contracts are about. You know, if you make a promise and someone else relies on it, and you don't keep your promise, you may be held liable. You're also going to take torts in the first semester. And most of you already have some sense as to what torts are about. That if you're negligent in driving a car and you injure someone else, you're going to be held liable for that. A lot of what you think you already know about contracts and torts is wrong or needs to be refined, but at least in those courses you'll begin by having some initial reactions. What'll be a little bit unsettling about civil procedure is you'll find that you don't have any instincts, you don't have any initial reactions, because issues like federal subject matter jurisdiction or the pleading rules are completely new to most of you. I'm here to tell you that's also what makes it one of the most enjoyable courses, because the satisfaction that comes in finding that you have started with something that you had no experience in, and by the middle of the semester you begin to realize you're getting it, you're picking up on it. And being able to be with first year students who are going through that experience is one of the great joys for me as a law professor. In civil procedure, I break the course, the section into two parts on 2 days of the week, so you would be in a section of only about 30 students or less. I make heavy use of PowerPoint slides and clicker questions and other things, building that community and really helping first year students come along. Let me tell you a little bit about my own background and what brought me to the University of St. Thomas. I grew up in Wisconsin, and I remain a loyal Packer fan, as the Packer helmet on my shelf here demonstrates. And yes, when the Packers win, you will see me wear my Packer tie to class the next day. I practiced then, I went to law school at the University of Washington in Seattle, and I practiced in all three branches of the federal government. I was a legislative assistant to a United States senator. I was a clerk for a United States Court of Appeals judge, and then I was an appellate specialist with the United States Department of Justice in Washington, D.C. So I handled cases before the United States Courts of Appeals and before the Supreme Court. Spent a little bit of time in private practice and then came into the Legal Academy. Before I came to St. Thomas 10 years ago, I was a law professor at Drake University Law School for 12 years. Let me tell you a little bit about how connected I was to Drake, and so how significant it is that I made the move to St. Thomas. I grew up in Wisconsin, but I was born in Des Moines. My grandfather was the first in his family to go to college, and he went to Drake. My parents went to Drake and in fact met in the building across the street from where I had my office. I was very happy at Drake and very active in the state bar. And then I heard from now Judge Patrick Schultz that a new law school was starting at the University of St. Thomas in the Twin Cities. My initial thought was, I'm very happy where I am, but the more I began to learn about the University of St. Thomas, the more intrigued I was. Judge Schultz said something that has stuck with me over the years. He said, you know, there are a lot of other fine law schools in the country, including, of course, Drake Law School, where I was so happy for 12 years. He said, but 10 years from now, St. Thomas is going to be something different. And I came to believe that that was right, that this was a different kind of community, a different kind of place, and I have not been disappointed at all in the years that I've come here. Let me just name a couple of the things that you should be thinking about, and I think that makes the University of St. Thomas such a wonderful place to study the law. Some are obvious and you will encounter immediately upon coming in the door. We have a beautiful building, second to none in our region. And don't underestimate how important that can be. Wherever you go to law school, you're going to be spending a lot of time in the building. Not just when you take class, but in the evenings for studying, in the library. And being in a place where you can take a break and look out over the the upper levels at the atrium below. It makes a difference to be in a place that lifts up your mood just by the physical beauty of the place. We have a tremendously outstanding faculty. I'd suggest that when you get to the point that you're comparing law schools, one of the things worth spending some time on is surfing through their web pages and looking at the backgrounds of their faculty. And you will find as you look at the backgrounds of the faculty at the University of St. Thomas, these are people who are not only nationally recognized scholars in their field, and we rank among the top 30 out of the 200 law schools in the country in our national prominence and scholarship. But we're also a faculty that have significant and prominent practice experience too. We know what we're talking about. And it's a place that has a distinctive community. Every law school that you visit, every law school you will apply to will tell you they have a wonderful community. It's a great place to study the law. We at the University of St. Thomas actually have some evidence to back up our claims of being a nurturing community, and that is that we have ranked among the top 2 or 3 law schools in the country for quality of life in the Princeton Review for several years. So I hope you'll seriously consider the University of St. Thomas School of Law, and if you do join our community, there's a 50-50 chance I'll see you in civil procedure in the fall.